Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Thomas Clan Fit. Today we're going to talk about a recent study that links obesity to dementia, Alzheimer's disease. So before I go any further, any opinions stated in this video are just my opinion. I am not an expert, and before including anything in your wellness, in your life, you should consult a doctor, other certified, licensed professional. Any statements made about the study I'm going to talk about are part of the results of the study and are up for debate and for scientific approval or disapproval through further study or through greater amounts of information. So with that, my sources for this, the original article I read was from sciencealert.com, which I actually found due to a link posted to a fitness group on Facebook. And that article, in my opinion, was a great summation of the study itself, which was posted to neurology.org. So this study was performed by a biobank lab in the UK, comprised of a little under 10,000 individuals ranging from ages 40 to 70, both male and female. In the study was a volunteer study, of which 1 in 5 were qualified as obese, and they didn't give the number of overweight or the number of healthy individuals, but there was an overweight class and all of that. So what they were able to find after taking in other factors, age, smoking, level of physical activity, things like that, they were able to conclude that obesity or being overweight led to a slight drop in gray matter and also white matter, which is a supportive tissue, if I'm understanding this correctly. And basically, gray matter drops are attributed to memory decline and also increased risk of dementia and Alzheimer's. So what the brain size averages were for healthy individuals, or those considered to be healthy in the study, was approximately 798 cubic centimeters, and the brain mass size of an obese individual is 786 cubic centimeters, which is about a 1.5% difference in size of the brain. So, again, not being a neurologist, I don't know exactly what that particularly means. Now, one thing that I did really appreciate in the study is that they were very quick to point out is that they do not yet know why this correlation was made, and they don't know which is affecting which more greatly, which I actually really like that I see when studies say, well, we need to do more research into this, we need to do more research into that, because, and one reason why is because usually when that happens, from my small amount of experience, somebody is going to make another study. Maybe if we're really lucky, 2 or 3 studies will get made to look into why that happened. Now, the way that they use the benchmarks, they use BMI and waist to hip ratios, which we all know BMI is kind of a flawed system. Weight to hip ratio, I've never heard of before this, and I'm going to do more research into it, maybe make weights to hip ratio its own video, depending on what I find, if there's anything interesting. So getting to my opinion of this, as somebody who has family members who are affected by Alzheimer's, as somebody who at times can have his own memory issues, this is something that it really speaks to me as wondering if I actually did damage to myself, because I grew up, in actually fairly healthy shape. And it took me a while. It took me a couple of years of greatly overeating to become obese, and then took a lot of years of overeating to stay obese. And I have a lot of issues where I'll forget things, simple things, easy things. Now, eventually, a lot of them come to me, but it's amazing to think I could have been damaging myself the whole time. I'm lucky enough at this point, I didn't develop adult onset diabetes. To this point, I'm still only 31. I haven't had any major heart issues. I did have high cholesterol and high blood pressure when I first became obese. But actually, the first time I went on a diet, those numbers went down. And even though they aren't as down or as good as they should be every time I've gotten healthier, they haven't gotten back into trouble ranges. But something where I'm wondering, is this the damage that I did to myself? And so that's kind of scary, knowing that, just enjoying, too much fried chicken or too many pieces of cake, or in my case, pie. I love pie. Did I do this damage to myself? And so it's kind of scary to think that if I had put away the fried chicken and gotten grilled chicken, maybe I could remember things a little bit better. Maybe because it affects me too. I'll go to the store to get a couple of things that I need to keep getting. I'll forget them, which that happens to everybody from time to time. Happens to me every time. I need my wife to text me a list because I won't remember to make the list of the things I'm going to the store to get. Now, it has gotten better. My memory's gotten a lot better since I've been losing weight, which also makes me wonder, is this something, if it is true, and if it is directly correlated to weight loss, is it something that can come back, or have I permanently damaged myself? Or, there are so many different ways that this study can go, so much information that is yet to be found, yet to be recorded. And I'm going to be trying to follow this as closely as I can. And hopefully there's a lot more studies that are done about this in the coming years. But it's just amazing to know that, 6 months ago, I was forgetting some incredibly simple things. And now, the amount of things that are coming back to me are crazy. And so and I'll also make this play, if this gets to anybody important, if there is a U.S.-based study being done, I will volunteer for that study. Whether it's something like this where they use MRI equipment to just gather the information with a basic survey, or if there's something more intense. I mean, I'm not going to reverse my weight loss or my intended future nutrition plans that I have. I'm not going to do that, but maybe it's something that can fit in with their study, maybe something that can be monitored. If somebody is forming a study in the U.S., I mean, I live in New England. I'm not far from New York, where there's a lot of labs doing studies. I know that there's a lot of medical labs in Boston, which are less than 2 hours away from where I live. I will volunteer. If anybody gets this, you can comment below with an email address. I will respond. I will volunteer because this is something that I want to know. This is something that I'd like to see found out, because when I get to an older age, I'd like to remember my wife. I have a family member right now that on particular days does not remember their spouse. They've been together now for 70 years, and there are days that they don't that person doesn't remember their spouse. And that's really sad. And I don't ever want to live that way. I don't want to put my family through that. And so I'm hoping for a good outcome. I'm hoping that there are further studies. And I'd really like to know everybody watching, I'd really like to know your opinion, your thoughts on the subject. And if you would also volunteer for a study like this, maybe you should comment below as well that you would volunteer for this type of a study, because this is something that we need to know. Any way to get healthier, know more about how to be healthy and stay healthy, it should be paramount. There are so many things that we study nowadays that don't need to be studied. Things like this need to be studied, in my opinion, of course. And so with that, I'm going to wrap this up. So comment below if you would volunteer for the study. If you have any questions, if you'd like me to expound upon this more, if you have any answers, any questions or comments related to this, not related to this, anything else you'd like to see me say, do a video about, talk about, comment that below. Subscribe to my channel, click the thumbs up for notifications, and thumbs up this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye.